What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action, but not any ordinary Age of Mythology retold action. It's quarterfinals season right now. It's final season. It's main event season. It's Wrath of the Gods retold. $15,000 main event shenanigans at this point in the left-hand corner of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is the Mister. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Gaia. His name is Magic. The map is Blue Lagoon. And we're off. Two titans of the Age of Mythology tournament scene, having many, many battles over the years, as we're already racing off to a very, very efficient start here for the Mister. He's already got himself this storehouse right next to that tree line, back tree line to boot there. Doesn't get any better for him. He's going to be going for a fast advance. You already know it. But what's Magic doing? He's dropped himself that economic guild up on the top side to spread that lush out just a little bit more, getting himself some of those economic upgrades already. Has hand axe and pickaxe in as he's going to be motoring ahead. We got those goats getting picked up on this position as well. As Yuji, Magic just going to be getting that scouting information as well. And same with Mister. He's already scouted out the gold mine. He already knows where to go on this map. He's gone very, very aggressive, very, very fast with that scout, trying to find goats and everything else that's over here. But he will be finding some at the top side of the map here as well. But you've got to be careful with getting these back home. In a way, it's sometimes possible or better or important to just leave those goats in the corner, as you've got oracles kind of all over the place here. So we do see the Kadoskopos and Oracle kind of high-fiving there. Mister's going to be happy about that. He's probably going to be able to get those goats all the way back home. Big, big win for him, as Magic's only found the starting goats and maybe a handful more. Relics on the map. We've got Blanket of Empress Zoe here. Over onto this position here as well. We've got that Scarab pendant on this position here. We've got the Girdle of Hippolyta. Hit points extra 10% for those ranged soldiers, can be very, very big. And then finally, Hestia's Hearth, or Hearth, at the top here, as Mister already advancing here. He's going for a 330. No surprises for this early aggression. He wants to set the pace in this game. Magic, on the other hand, the slightest of disrespect, to say the least here. He's going for a later advance time against the Mr. Poseidon. He's got his economic upgrades through. He's saying, do your worst right now. Gaia Forest coming up on this spot to just make it a little bit more challenging to get into the base, but this is still open over this side, as one villager will be moving forward to potentially drop a wall on this location. That's exactly what he's going to be doing here. Let's get those walls sort of tightened up on the sides before he's going to be finishing this one up. I like that play, as the Centaur is going to be moving across the map. Oracle getting pulled back. Will this Centaur even be able to get in and get any damage done is the big question, as Oceanus is already through here. As the Caladria going to be popping in, that Centaur just pokes its head through, looking around onto this base to try and find something, as some citizens moving over here onto the berry bushes. But the Centaur will spot this, so a little bit of damage potentially going to be coming through here. As the Caladria is actually one that gets targeted down. A little bit of a pacifier gets in, as Magic needs to pull away. In the main base here for the Mister, he's just wooden gold. He's just going for the town center. No real surprises there for him, as the military barracks is up for Magic, and he's actually already going in for that shaft mine. Super economically minded to kick this game off, as the Atalanta coming in onto the right-hand corner of the map. Going to be searching for something to harass here early on. The difficulty for this is, as a hero Murmillo comes through, this can just fight back against that Atalanta, and the Oceanus Caladria can just heal these things back up. as Magic just simply says he doesn't even need to. Just sitting on the Lush is going to be able to heal back up as well as Atalanta retreats back. And we do see the villagers moving over onto this town center. The Caladria will be scouting this out immediately here, but Theseus is already in. A little bit of damage coming in. 2 shots, 3 shots, and it's down. The Caladria has been taken down. That's a huge win for the early stages of the game here for the Mystery. Also should realize he's probably not going to be getting any Carnivora on this position, so he can start to move forward. Magic, on the other hand here, Caladria out, 3 Murmillo out. He's going to be looking for some revenge raids in this game. Will he go for a town center or not is the big question, as we've already got the Mister grabbing himself watchtowers here. That's an insanely expensive technology to just grab at this point. It's almost reminiscent of Nullus's sort of Greek 2-town center opening, where he would just go for 2 town centers, eco upgrades, towers, and then just sit behind here. Over onto this position. Magic just going to be checking out this spot, and he will now, simply put, grab his own town center. He's going to be ever so slightly behind the 8 ball in terms of what the town center is getting. But the thing is here for the Mister, and this is kind of a big deal, there's not really anything close to this town center. Like, what has he got? There's no gold mine, there's no food. It's actually a fairly average town center. Nonetheless, Magic, on the other hand, I mean, he's got the zebra at the front. Behind his base here, he's got some zebra over here as well that he can grab. But this isn't too far away. And the question is, following this, what's Mister going to go for? Does he just go for this economic approach and just sit back and kind of wait and see what Magic's going to do? Or is he going to try and push the issue here? At the moment, he's just scouting out at the top. He's got that Katoska boss over here just chilling, checking out the settlement, retreating back, just scouting out with the Atalanta. You can't... the Atalanta's scout is really, really important because you can't pacify this one. So there's no way to snipe this down with that Caladria Murmillo sort of deal there. As Mister comes through, has that cheeky little centaur over here. Is Magic going to attempt to dive in to take this one out? Not quite able to pick that one off just yet. As Magic pulls up to the top side. Granary coming up over onto this location here. Chicken's going to be getting grabbed. Do have a marker coming up onto this spot as well. As the marker goes down. And Magic kind of sees what he needs to see there. He knows that Mister wants to go heroic age. We're seeing Magic grabbing himself that early survival equipment as well. That's going to obviously help his civilian unit survive. And Magic now says, I can just move out into the middle of the map. If you're just going to give me the map, I'm going to take it. As he's now there, he's going to drop that mana in the middle there. And Mister hasn't dropped anything just yet. No military buildings, just a market, and off to the heroic age he goes. Now, the question is, does Magic need to do the same? Does he need to go heroic age? Can he stay classical age? Can he just keep getting economic upgrades in? He's missing that bow saw, but he doesn't have that many villagers on wood, so it's not that big of a deal. Is it an armory or a market? There's no armory or market through for Magic, but his resources are starting to push up to that 800, 500 sort of situation here, as he realizes now as he's pulling some villagers over onto wood that he needs to get that armory up. As there he goes. And he's going to be, I would say, just a little bit behind on the tech, which might make things very, very challenging for him. And we do see Dionysus here. So no kind of stock standard Aphrodite here, as double military academy coming through for Mister. He's already seen a handful of Murmillo, so it makes a lot of sense for him to say, all right, let me just build out a couple of Hypaspists here to deal with that. As we see a stable coming down as well here for Mister, it's kind of preemptively go, all right, what beats Hypaspist? Well, Arcus beat Hypaspist, and so too to Contaria. So if I throw a stable down, then he can get himself Prodromus or Hippias, depending on what Magic decides he wants to go into. So he's getting prepared to just counter whatever Magic is going to build. Also grabbing himself a super early Spirited Charge here. So this is obviously well thought out kind of down the line strategy for the Mister here. It's another stable going to be coming down, and we do see a handful of Hypaspist on the way here. But they are also coming through, and in the main base of Magic here, what does he have cooking? 6 military barracks on the way, and a whole bunch more Murmillo to just hold on here. These villages on the middle of the map will need to be retreating back as the Caladria does get that scouting information in. But the army decides to push forward. He sees those Hypaspist here. And then what's he going to go for? Dryads coming through, and we do indeed see one Caraballister. I like that little idea here. This is going to be a little bit unexpected, I think, for the Mister. But just the one could be a nice holding force on, say, like a gold mine or something like that. As Magic, he'll still trying to take this fight, trying to take out that unit over there. That's good micro pulling back onto this spot. The Atalanta still getting some good damage. You've got the Contarius starting to rush through here, but Prodromi are already starting to come in. Carnivora getting dropped down onto the back here, and Mister will need to retreat as Magic manages to claim the first victory, sniping down that Hydra as well on the retreat path. As it's going to be Peltast, it's going to be Hypaspist, it's going to be Prodromus. It's all counter units here for the Mister moving forward. So what do you build if you're Magic? As he decides it's time to get some Arcus out. Both players trying their best to adapt to what their opponent's doing here. And Magic is seeing an opportunity here, and it's a big, big opportunity. It's the force defensive bronze. He's got to try and deny this gold mine. We've already got a wall up over here. Mister does have the resources to drop a fortress down, which will be a big defensive assistance as the Contarius is going to be charging forward into the main base. Going after a villager here. Doesn't manage to snipe it. Mister very quick on that retreat away. As a Contaria, they're just simply going to pull back. Got so many Dryads already out for Magic at this point. He's also grabbing himself very early ballistics, medium range soldiers to come through as well. The army differential is stark at the moment, but you know, Mister still doesn't need to move out of his base just yet. He's still got a little bit of gold left. He's coming back over onto this gold mine. Magic is making some slight mistakes here, but he's going for the town center. If you could deny that gold mine, it'll be very, very useful, and we see just a ceasefire. Mister says, I don't want to fight. Let's just leave me alone. We'll play later, okay? We'll play later. Magic, I know you want to play. I know you want to get this finished so your laptop doesn't overheat, but we're going to play later, okay? There's a ceasefire, 10 seconds from completing, but, you know, Mister has caught up on population. He's now equal. Magic's still trying to push ahead, but he's getting all those upgrades in to make his units much more strong. Heavy archers, plus that carpenters, plus plow, and everything else. As a random Contarius in the main base here, just searching around for someone to kill. And Magic says it's time to go after this town center yet again. As Mister, I don't know if he's ready to take the fight just yet, but he's going to be moving into this position here. The town center getting taken down very, very quickly as the Arcus going after that Atalanta as well. We've got those the Prodromus coming through, but now Mister says it's time to fight. The unit's retreating away. The Stymphalian birds on the back here are able to snipe down those Centaur very, very quickly, but so too are the heroes able to snipe the Stymphalian birds quickly. And Magic doesn't want to take a fight. He's going to be losing that Caraballister. He's pulling back, and he realizes he's forced Mister to stay in the Heroic Age. That's what he wanted. He doesn't want Mister to be able to go Mythic Age. He's making sure Mister's building units. So he gets that done. He could retreat back. He can think about a third town center and play the game that he wants, which is an extended Heroic Age fight where Mister can't manage to get a really strong army. However, Thracian Horses is coming through. And if those Prodromus hit a Contarius, man, they're getting a lot of resources back as the villagers are going to be dropping this town center over here. The entirety of the army coming up onto this position. There's still bronze remaining here for the Mister. As the Mister now going to be moving up to the top side. We've got a little cheeky storehouse coming down onto this position. We have to remember there is going to be bronze available. So many Dryads in here. There's the bronze. And can Magic fight this or not is the question. He's going to be pulling back. The Prodromus going after those citizens on the top. It's looking like they're going to get taken down very quickly. A whole bunch of them are pulled up there, and it looks like the town center is not going to be finishing. 10 seconds remaining on that one here as Magic back into his main base. He's got to keep retreating away. There's the watchtowers, and Mr. says no overextensions on this day here as he pulls back. Town center denied, 3 citizens taken out, and Mr. is now in a good spot. However, Atlas is on the way. Magic is using his economy very, very nicely at this point. Mr. on the other hand, he's a little bit behind on gold. I don't think he's got a fortress down just yet. He's going for his 3rd town center. More military buildings are coming down here for the Mr. And this here is effectively what I think is the best way to play around Implode, is to stay heroic age, get fully upgraded, and call it a day. As the Prodromus coming in onto this position here, going to be hitting the villagers on this gold mine. Nice find there as the villagers coming back over here to the town center. But we'll see if Mystic is actually... He might be wanting to go to the Mythic Age himself here. But that's going to mean a lot of resources down the drain for that Implode to cause a lot of problems. As the army comes up, going to be able to take out those Prodromus up here. Mr. not paying attention. That's a lot of losses. Good win there. But the Palace on this position is going to be getting taken down as Mr. pulls back his army ever so slightly there. Artemis has been queued up. We have that fortress. It is started onto this position here to try and secure this gold mine. Citizen's going to be retreating away as a Prodromus in hot pursuit there to take at least the hero citizen out. They deal a decent amount of damage on that chase there. Meanwhile, over onto this position, Magic is starting to say, well, if you're not going to defend your town center, I'm going to take it out as he charges forward. Mr. trying to repair it up. He does get a whole bunch of militia here that can take a fight. A couple of units coming in to try and defend here, but the Arcus are in a really big mass as those Peltas are going to be flinging arrows over there. Militia getting taken down by those Dryads. Nice play where that's concerned. More units are coming in, but Mr. He's got to be aware at this point that Magic has got Implode. He can't really take a full-on fight here. He's going to be splitting up his army to some degree halfways, but now his main base is going to be under siege here, and this means, this is a risky sort of Implode. Lots of buildings in here will go down as we see the Implode getting dropped down. Mr. tries to split his army. Can he get out of here? Answer is he gets out with one piece. Oh my god. As the entirety of Mr.'s army gets sucked in. Lots of it does manage to survive, but he does get a handful of militia in his main base. He's got a lot of catching up to do, but he does have ceasefire in the bank, and he will be dropping that down. Now, he could cancel Artemis and try and get his army back up. And to some degree, a heroic age, full population Poseidon army can hold indefinitely against a full population Atlantean army, so long as these upgrades don't come through. But we've already seen champion infantry coming in. We've got that champion range soldiers pre-queued as well for Magic. He's spending all his resources nicely. He's now moving up to this top town center to try and siege this down. Going to continue to get this damage done in a big way. Artemis is still coming through. Is it coming in onto this town center? Answer is no. The Argus comes through to drop that spit down. Magic. Mr. does pull back there. Nice plays. Army kind of getting stuck onto this position as the Stymphalian birds coming through. There's that champion upgrade for Magic on this spot as the town center looks like it's going to be getting torn down here. And a whole bunch of militia popping out. Population differential is absolutely gigantic. And Mr. calls it as Magic manages to pull himself to the victory in this first game. It's a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. That was a textbook Gaia display here. A perfect defense against the early rush with the Gaia forest, walls, and all the other thing. Sees the town center coming up perfectly there, and then continues on really nice. It gets all his armory upgrades, his economic upgrades, armory upgrades, infantry upgrades, archer upgrades, counters the army, which Mr. is trying to build there perfectly, and Mr. just cannot hold there. And this tells the entire story as Magic just pulls so far in front. nonetheless, guys, we'll move on to the next game here as we'll see exactly what Mister's going to pick moving into game 2. And here we go, game number 2. In the right-hand corner of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is the Mister. And in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Thor. His name is Magic. And as is ever the case, Magic going with what he knows. Going with what he knows. Armory getting dropped down onto this position. He's going for that early armory upgrade. Let's take a quick look over at what Mister's doing. He's got the shared ox cart, and he's going for what looks to be an early pickaxe here. I like this idea from Mister. A little bit more economy to kick off. This will be slowing down his advance time. So I had some sort of an inkling here that maybe Mister would go for some sort of a forward temple and just try and cause a huge amount of chaos inside of Magic's base. But that's not the case here. He's just going for goats, going for the scouting on this side. He does miss those goats just over on this side. He goes straight up to the top corner and then pulls all the way back to drop a house. Oh, he's already, yeah, to drop a house down, searching up onto this spot. He might find those goats over here. Magic, on the other hand, a very, very small amount of scouting information here. He does spot down the bottom side of the map, the rhinos, some goats over there as well. Mister's advantage in this situation is generally going to be how many goats he can find. Because this is the weakness of going for this early advance time, or this not early advance time, this early Dwarven Armory with a later advance time. Scouting, very, very poor. And we do see that Berserk scouting out, checking what he can find. On the bottom side of the map, let's check out if there's any big relics on the map. Hestia's Harp here, 5% villager train time reduction. Pygmalion statue, yeah, this is a big relic here for both players to keep those villagers alive. Can never be underestimated. Temple coming up for Mister on this spot. Over on this spot, we've got that Staff of Dionysus. And finally, rounding this all out, Archimedes' Ledger. Reducing that population count on the siege weapons. So not the most impactful of relics. No dwarven horseshoes, for example, to make things very, very difficult. There's a temple going to come up, and it looks like Magic here is going for a later advance time. Mister, on the other hand, going through Freya. I could be misreading this to some degree, but this temple on this spot here plays out a little bit like Mister might be wanting to go for a fast second town center. There's only one rhinoceros on that spot, but he obviously can great hunt that, and that can become a lot of food there. We'll see how things are going to go here, as all of the armory upgrades are going to be coming through. And a little bit later of a Hammer of Thunder here. Not the biggest of problems to delay that one, but it does increase that favor generation for your Herser, though none are coming through just yet. Great Hall coming up onto the back position here as well. As it looks like I am completely wrong. No fast second town center. It's just going to be straight aggression as that Valkyrie moving across. We do see the Great Hunt coming into the center of the map there. As Mister's going to be wanting to move forward immediately to start grabbing that food. He's going to finish up on the zebra first and then move forward. This does speed him up and slow him down in a way. It's a bit of an interesting choice. We have been seeing a lot of Odin players just great hunting their home zebra, as the Valkyrie is now out for Magic and Mister has to run away. But Mister's got to be somewhat happy about seeing Freya over Forseti. Forseti, you have to worry about trolls and fighting trolls. Trolls are very, very strong. Herster comes through, gets a little bit of that snare in. And well, it looks like, I'm not sure if this is the case or not. No, it's not. Okay. I thought maybe Mr. was animation canceling that. You can kind of catch up if you perfectly animation cancel the ending attack there of the Valkyrie while the enemy unit is snared. It's the same type. It's very challenging to do so though. As the Valkyrie swinging around the left-hand corner of the map, we do see the forest fire getting dropped down. So no sort of safe back food here. As Magic's Valkyrie going to be looking for something to hit in the base of Mr. Mr. doesn't have himself any Hersir back here. He's just pumping raiding cavalry for the time being. And it's kind of looking like Magic is snuck through, but he did reveal himself ever so slightly on the minimap as he's now popping into the main base here. Is he sending any Hersir back home? There he goes as the Hersir going to move back into the main base. Got to be careful on this side as Magic, he's going to be swinging through with his own Valkyrie, looking for something to target down. There's nothing here just yet. All the villages in the center of the map are going to be really, really helpful for him. Dwarf going to get targeted down. Is this stuck? No. It's going to be able to get back home. Hersir coming over here to defend. Dwarf going to be moving back over onto the food. As Magic does try and spot that Dwarf and take it out again, but the Hersir come through. No problems. Raiding cavalry for Mr. Just trying to find his way into the main base here of Magic and break down this forward Dwarven armory, break down this incomplete wall. This is a pretty big takeout here for Mr. to kick this game off. But Magic, he's got more villages because of the Dwarven armory. He's got more armory upgrades at the moment as well. The only thing I think he's probably behind on is like food, but it doesn't matter because he's only building dwarfs, it looks like at the moment. As the army for Magic is slowly starting to push forward, and the raiding cavalry for Mr. will have to start pulling back. As the Valkyrie just still pushing around this position, still looking for distraction action, but Mr. I mean, he's dealing with that nicely. He does manage to snipe off some units over here, snipes down a throw-in axeman. Now going into the main base as the army of Magic does get caught out of position here. Magic very smartly pulling away. But every little bit of idle time here is just what Mr. needs. This is what he wants. Whether he picks off a villager or not the biggest of deals. Going to be trying to dive in there, but it's not quite time. He's still, you have to remember, he's behind on this damage, on this not on the HP, but on the effective HP. Is the 28% hack armor there as well. As Mr. He is literally just going mass raiding cavalry at the moment. He's starting to get a couple of thrown axemen behind this just in case the herdmen start coming through. So raiding cavalry can come back in. They spot a house. They will take a house down. Meanwhile, over onto this top position, the Raven just scouting out what's happening. Lots of idle villages here for Magic as he's got to get those back to work. Armory going to get cleaned up. As the raiding cavalry going to be pulling away for the time being, pulling back into the right-hand corner of the map. We'll see what's going to happen if he can find any big amounts of attacks here. Differential in population still very, very close. But Magic doesn't have the resources here. He's going to have to move out his base very, very soon here to get more gold income. And now we're seeing that Thundering Hooves tech coming through, and this will give a slight advantage over to the Mr. in this fight. But there's that medium cavalry coming through for Magic, and that's going to counteract that to some degree. Magic does have a Dwarven armory, but does he want to throw it down in the classical age is the question. It's looking like he's going to move out onto the gold mine. I feel like there's no reason not to. He should be able to have the army to defend against what Mister's going to throw at him at this point. There's a raiding cavalry pop through. They spot that there's no gold mine there. The Raven will be spotting the dwarves on this other gold mine as we have some raiding cavalry coming through into the middle of the map. Hersir here, plus some herdmen as well to help out. Herdmen are kind of the newish Norse unit, very, very counter cavalry type unit here with 4x versus that. As the raiding cavalry pushing back into the main base, looking for something to take out. Villagers on this position getting caught out. Can he get any villager kills here? Looks like 1 is going to go down. 2 is going to go down. 3 going to go down, but the raiding cavalry coming back in defense for Magic as Mr. will be able to pull out. That was a really, really big raid for him. He's almost equalized on the villager differential at this point. And now behind all of this, it is looking like Magic has fallen behind on Military for some reason here, as Mister's pressure is starting to mount and get him some serious advantage who's cooking. Herdman going to come over and start looking to defend this position. One raiding cavalry does manage to get sniped. And then the units of Magic will just pull back. We're also going to see that Hamask upgrade coming through as... Oh, Mister getting caught out ever so slightly, but Hamas coming through, medium infantry coming through as well, as some Berserks potentially going to be the unit of choice to come in very, very shortly. And this is the part of the game where you got to be really, really careful. This is where Mister does most of his magic. It's the big mid-game fight where he controls his army, positions it beautifully. He's going to go for a little bit of a raid into the main base, trying to hit some villages on the farms and everything else. Armory coming down as well, as the units on this spot here going to be looking to push forward. Mister now has to pull his units back, but Magic has made a great movement here. We will be seeing the units turn around. He's got a great choke point with those Herdmen onto the back position here. Raiding cavalry coming back in here to try and jump into this fight. He could delete the armory and try and jump onto those throwing axemen there, but is it too little too late for that to happen? Is Magic going to be pulling back? He does have a huge amount of Herser on this fight. This is a very, very messy fight. The Herdman over onto that Valkyrie, they're not getting the value that he needs, but the Herser move forward. Great movement there. Good mid-game micro as Mister going to be pushing back. Magic still trying to pull back his own army, trying to get the positioning he needs. Differential in population still very, very close here as some raiding cavalry have hit the throwing axemen of Magic in the back. The Mister throwing axemen looking very, very strong here. Both players losing a lot of population as this fight continuing along. It's incredibly close here. It's neck and neck. There is some sort of defender's advantage cooking here for the Mister, but the Mister has to pull back at this point as Magic manages to hold. Valkyrie is going to be coming back into this fight. Berserk's now starting to queue out. Mister does have a random Berserk in this longhouse that he does manage to pull out of here. However, fight going, I don't even know whose way. Lots of favor in the bank for both players here, as Magic will need to start getting himself some Valkyries, because this is where the game can turn in a really big way. How are the armory upgrades looking here? Still not quite through for Mister, as his buildings in the center of the map. He's got the houses here. Magic sees a lot of advantage to cook here if he can get some good fights happening. But Magic now going to take down the houses on this spot. Throwing axemen, getting some good damage done as the units are going to be pulling away here. Little control here, but Magic has got such a strong army, and this is all just because of armory upgrades. More Valkyrie coming through. Do we see Dizbolot anytime soon? Answer is not just yet. There are still a handful of Herser in this fight, as Magic and Mister yet again going for a crazy fight. Lots of choke points here to allow those throwing axemen a lot of value, as Mister trying to micro those Magic here. Going to be tempting to retreat away now, as it's looking like he's not happy with this fight, and he's not happy with this fight because he's falling behind in population. Norse Wars are a fickle matchup, as you could be winning for a moment and losing in the next moment. As Mister not wanting to overcommit just yet, does turn around. As the army pulling in, we do have a little bits of chase around on the back spot there. Forest Fire getting dropped down there by Magic, but that's on his own forest. He's only got a... does he have any other forest in his main base? Yes, he does over here. Raiding Cavalry going to split off, look for some villager kills up to the top side of the map. The army coming back in. Still so many Valkyrie for the Mister, but no Dizboard is making me a little bit nervous for both players here, as the Raiding Cavalry swinging around onto this side. We've got the villagers coming through here to start shanking down, as Mister needs to take those out. He's got such a population advantage here, as it's looking like Magic is falling behind in an unsurmountable fight here. This is going to be Mister claiming game number 2 as he pulls it back here from what seemed to be the brink. Magic have that first fight. We can see it in the post game here, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a look at this timeline, military resource value, both players drop. Magic wins that fight by 500 resources. But Mister, because he's got that income advantage, it seems, look at this, it's so slight. It's so slight. He's still on hunt, and he's able to then reproduce those units out and then take the fight. The problem here, I think, for Magic was just he didn't have food income to make the Valkyrie. It's as simple as that. He needed food income for the Valkyrie, and if he had those, I think he would have been completely fine. The game would have continued. It would have been still very messy, but he does fall there 14 minutes into the game as we're going to be moving on to a game number 3 here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Game number 3. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing as Hades, his name is the Mister. In the top right-hand corner of the map, playing as Set, his name is Magic. The map is Marsh. We've already had an intense first 2 games here. And it might not be the matchup of old, but it is going to be a matchup that we're going to be very, very happy to be seeing here. We've seen Mr. playing Magic, Zeus versus Isis for an eternity throughout Legacy. And now we're going to get treated to the Egyptian-Greek shenanigans here. But this time it's going to be Mr. with Hades and Magic with Set. So the Legacy continues. The story is yet to finish between these two players. And how is it all going to end up here? There's so many intricacies to this matchup. You got to be worried about Wadgets to some degree in the early game for the Hades. You got to be worried about potentially fast second town center, fast heroic chariot archers for the Set player as well. You got to worry about Aphrodite times. You got to worry about aggressive mid game play from the Hades. You got to be worried about Valley of the Kings coming through and just outright winning in the mid game, in the early Mythic Age. You got to be worried about Artemis with those poisonous arrows coming through for Mister. You also got to be worried about all of the crazy Perseus value that can come in. Apollo as well, to deal with a huge amount of those barracks units. That can be a problem as well. We'll have to wait and see what the players are going to do. Let's check out what they've seen thus far, as the relics have been spotted in the center of the map here for Mister, as he does see Chariots of Sibel here. This is a big relic to be making sure you pick up. Early game gets a lot of value. Tower of Cestus there, boosting those towers against myth units can be a big help as well. Bridal of Pegasus, another huge relic there for line of sight. Over here we have Armor of Achilles, boosting those infantry units there a little bit. Ship of the Fingernails there is also going to be getting a little bit more food income for whoever wants to grab that one. And Archimedes Ledger, giving that population cost -1. Very, very nice. So the question is, will Magic go for any of these relics? Oftentimes we see Egyptian players kind of just not. And it does sometimes bite them in the bum. As Mister says, his favorite relic here is going to be that Chariot of Sibel, with those 2 golden lions to come in nice and early. Achilles also on the way. And in the main base here for Magic, he's going to be dropping that vision down, seeing exactly what Mister's going for. Only 3 villages on wood, 5 villages on gold. A lot of idle villages needing to get to work here. As you can't really see exactly what Mister's plan is at this moment with that sort of a villager differential there. He could go for early Hippias here. He could go for a town center. He could be going for Minotaur. Relics are going to be coming in nonetheless, as the Pharaoh, or the priest I should say, coming into the center of the map to start looking for some conversions here. But you do have to be careful with this, as Magic is now moving forward. He's got a lot of priests here. The Zom coming down into the center of the map here. But there's some very, very strong units in for Mister at the moment. And Magic is running straight towards this. Mister's going to be more than happy to take this fight, sending that Ajax straight after the Wadget. Wadget's going to be getting pulled back, but it's going to go down instantly there from Mr. Micro. As now the two Lions are going to come through, and he has to Shifting Sands back. That's a huge win here for Mr. in the early game. As now Mr. can just move around. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He sees the town center going up onto this side. He's going to be sending the units over there, but he is probably too far away from here to actually get anything done. He could go into the main base, which is looking like what he's going to do, and try and find some value while all the units are sitting up at the top side of the map. 6 priests here for the time being. And now we see a town center for the Mister. So we're getting into a macro game. I'm still surprised to see all these relics kind of sitting here. Tower of Cestus coming in, and now Mr. says, all right, I can put my foot off of the accelerator. I've forced Magic to sit in his base. He's got that second town center. I've got mine, and I don't need to pressure anymore. Let me just grab all the relics and have an advantage here. There's still Armor of Achilles. That's such a good relic as well. There's still that Archimedes Ledger, though it's not that important. But this one over here, Ship of Fingernails, this one's been spotted? It has. So I'm sure that one of these plays, we haven't seen it for the Mister yet. His scout's going to come through. He will notice it. He will be picking that one up relatively quickly, I'm sure. A couple of Wadgets going to come through here for Magic, and the double barracks are coming in as well, just to be a little safe here. There's never... I don't think there's ever a bad time to be building Spearmen. Spearmen are not necessarily a unit you need to... Actually, let me kind of phrase it like this. In the Egyptian versus Greek matchup, when you're playing a set, there are 3 units you want to be building. Units that counter... A unit that counters infantry units, a unit that counters archers, and a unit that counters cavalry. The unit that counters cavalry is the Spearman. The unit that counters archers is the Elephant. And the unit that counters infantry is the Chariot Archer. So it's important to have everything of access there. And the reason why you only really want 3 units to build is because you have to invest so many resources into upgrading them. So in building some Spearmen here, it's fine. You could also go in for Slingers and go for that instead of the Elephant. So you can go Chariot Archer, Slinger, Spearman as well as an idea, depending on what your opponent's building. But that can be very risky some of the time, I think. But we'll see what's happening here is Magic just wants a little bit of information, and he's going to be leading that Achilles astray. He's like, come with me. I have candy. Let me give you some candy. I don't know what I'm saying here. Anyways, Spearman coming through. Going to try and break through onto this wall here. Going to be retreating back after this. A couple more priests coming in onto the back here, looking for something, some sort of damage to get done. Aphrodite is queued up already for the Mister with a bit of a pre-queue here. Military Academy going to be coming through as well, but the towers are in, and that's going to be forcing Magic to retreat back. He's trying to get some value here. He's also looking to go to the Heroic Age himself. Has the resources. Armory, market. No armory or market, however, for Magic has started, so he needs to get on top of that if he wants to go to the next age. He can use the Pharaoh to empower it up if he wants to. But nonetheless, oops, Spearman! They do manage to get a villager kill here. Nice find. Achilles is now on the defense here in an attempt to get some damage as the units are going to try and retreat away. Can we see a wall? Answer, no. And the Spearmen get out of there. That's a big win. It might only be 1 villager, but, you know, it's not really about the villager kill at this point. It's about sending a message. It's about saying, you've got some weaknesses here, and let me exploit them. Let me get in there and get out. But already Aphrodite, Military Academy up. Just 1. We do see some Axemen coming through here as well. Signal fires as well coming through. This is such a underappreciated technology. Well, let's just check this one out as we're getting through here. Just take a look at his base, and once that comes through, you'll see that line of sight pop out in a big, big way. +6 line of sight on your buildings as it just shrinks out just that little bit more. And that can start meaning a lot later in the game when you start putting more buildings around the map and start seeing everything. It only costs 150 wood. Super value to grab that one. But already in the heroic age now for Mister, as he's going to drop a fortress. And I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight mythic age behind this. Look at the food. He's already got it in. Look at the gold. He's got 18 villages on gold. His base is so defensive here. And this is the thing. Because Magic doesn't have any shifting sands, he can't really do... He does have a shifting sands, excuse me. So he could shifting sands onto something, but all his units are just going to sit here looking very, very silly once Artemis comes through, Chimera come through, Hoplites as well, as we see that Sarissa is queued up. Magic with only a handful of villages on the temple at the moment. Does he have himself golden apples? No. He's also pulled Tower of Cestus. Oh. Not sure why Tower of Cestus isn't in here. I'm pretty sure you can have 5 relics in a temple. I'm not sure why he pulled that out, but anyways. Doesn't want the bonus damage versus myth units. I get it. As the booming is still going on, Magic, as Magic normally does, trying to get some units out here to put some pressure. Another Migdol stronghold going to be coming up, but you know, if he goes Mythic Age, he's got to be concerned about Artemis hitting one of the town centers that he's going Mythic Age through. So the big advantage of hitting Mythic Age is you get immediate value, as you do see Thoth pre-queued there for Magic. You just get immediate value when you hit that Mythic Age. Generally, the weakness of teching is if someone hits you while you're going to the Mythic Age. So there's 2 minutes to go through. That's 2,000 resources you've invested that you need to wait for it to kind of finish on. And then once you hit it, then boom. Earthquake on the town center, kill off all the houses, then that resource is dealt or spent is dealt in damage. You also get the Chimera and you unlock all the upgrades potential to get your units even stronger. So that's why getting to this Mythic Age is, when you don't really need to attack, is really, really important. But Magic is pushing forward. He's going to grab this forward town center. Which town center? Oh, he's gone in the middle one. This could be very disastrous here for Magic moving forward, as he's already nearly halfway finished on Thoth. And the Pegasus is already sitting waiting to push in onto this spot. Magic sees this. He sees the Pegasus there, and he's still going for this town center. It could be part of that sort of mind games where he thinks maybe Mr. will earthquake something else. But there's the Artemis coming in. The Pegasus flying through. Earthquake gets dropped down. Villagers attempting to repair. But can you out-repair an earthquake is the question. He's trying his hardest and he's not able to. Thoth does not complete. As now Magic moving over onto this town center to get that one in. And now the units here for Mister are going to start looking very, very scary moving forward. He's got so much potential now to get some serious damage done. It's another 2 minutes for Thoth to come in. As a villager going to sneak forward here for the Mister, trying to wall up the top side here and get that all sorted. Units charging forward, pushing off some villagers over here. He sees the town center on the front. A couple of units on the back here for Magic. Going to push forward to try and get some value here. Look at this. We've also already got that Shafts of Plague pre-queued, but still has a little bit of favor to come through. And looks like Mister has forgotten this Golden Apples tech. I feel like this technology gets forgotten a lot. It's really, really good. If you ever think that you don't have favor income as Greek, just go Aphrodite, get that tech, and all of a sudden you've basically got Zeus favor gather rate. As units pushing forward, getting a little bit of damage here. We do see Magic coming in onto the back here to try and defend. He could drop down Ancestors, but there's already 4 heroes in for the Mister at this point. Charging out onto this position. The Peltat's going to get some damage done over here. This Chimera spitting some fire out onto this position, getting that damage there, hitting the curse. The army of Magic trying to retreat away. It's just one Migdol stronghold. Restoration getting dropped down here as well to allow Mister to just push forward. Ancestors does get forced out on the defense as Thoth comes through. I mean, does he have to use Meteor on this spot just to defend himself? Answer is yes, he does, as he's going to try and kill off all of these units with his own Meteor. You don't really hurt yourself with this one. It only kind of deals damage to your opponent, as Mister's push here looks like it's been somewhat thwarted. Pharaoh coming over onto this spot to try and take out some of those myth units, and Mister will have to pull back as some sort of equality has been brought Magic's way. But let's take a look at this. He's got himself Valley of the Kings. He's got himself the Chariot Archers coming through. But Mister is up 9 villages. Is that enough to deal with the strength of Valley of the Kings is the big question. He's already got that Heliopolis starting to move forward. Can start getting some pressure onto this town center. Villagers pulling back. Oh, the Scorpion Man getting left to survive. Oh, no, it doesn't. Gets sniped in the end. Town center here for Magic going to be getting taken out as Mister can start looking to his own third town center on this position. We see Champion Chariots coming through, but there's already Champion Toxotes in here. Mister just going to have to sit back and wait, it seems. He's at full population. He's got upgrades coming through. Armory-wise, he's maybe a little bit behind, but same too as Magic. Both of these players have got a very similar amount of armory upgrades through at the moment. Town Center coming up. The Chariot Archer raids. This is the time or the way in which you come back in this position with these Chariot Archers. This is what makes them so good. Mister does have walls up already, but this Town Center is not protected. Into the main base, the Phoenix goes, looking for some tasty villages to burn. As the Hoplites going to be chasing, we do see the Peltasts over here already to get some damage in. Magic has got to try and find his way back into equality here. Losing these Chariot Archers on this raid is not going to be what he wants to have happen here. Meanwhile, over onto this position, do see a couple of units getting caught out from Mister, but he does see the army there, so that's a big amount of information, so we can start pushing forward ever so slightly. Town Center coming back up for Magic, but it's immediately denied as the army here for Magic going to be engaging in onto this position. The Hoplites for the Mister are going to be getting some huge amounts of damage done onto the Camel Riders here. The Camel Riders are making not the most sense in this army at the moment. Restoration coming forward here. Chariot Archers will be the backbone, but the Peltasts are targeting them down nicely with that big amount of venom coming through from shafts of plague there, and Magic's army melts as Mister, he's got the power at the moment with the Greek. Fortified town centers coming through for the Mystery. He's going to slowly start controlling this map, controlling this game. Fortress coming up onto this spot. He's got to move over and grab this town center next, and then that's just going to be all she wrote for what Magic can do at this point. Generally speaking, Thoth is not a late game god. It's a mid game god, and this is the mid game, and Mister is dominating in this position. Look at that army. It looks so terrifying. As Magic continuing to try and push forward, trying to take out the Hoplites and everything else over here. Villagers coming in onto the town center for the Mister. As we see some villagers coming up, they see the wall. They will shank this, but this is going to alert Mister that he can just send some units over there. He's going to send a handful while still sticking onto this position. Now there's 9 villagers on the temple here. Mister still doesn't have golden apples. I'm sure he must have just forgotten about it. He must have just forgotten about it. I'm just going to sit here and pretend like he's forgotten about it, and we'll just move on with our day. All right, Peltas going after this. We do see some elephants. This is where the army gets actually kind of scary for Magic, as he is starting to try and get those out. His Chariot's getting that damage done from afar here. The elephant choke point is nice, but there's still not enough population. Look at the differential now in population, 233 to 260. A couple of units coming over here to deal with this. Got a hoplite, a couple hoplites, Toxotes, and the Peltas to push over there as the elephants still coming through. These are unupgraded elephants at the moment. They are not going to rival the hoplite at this point. As those Peltas are going to clean up the chariots on the back. Magic still not able to quite push forward. He's moved over onto this gold mine. There's no gold income remaining for Magic, as all of the gold is controlled by the Mister in this game, and Mister knows this. This is basically Mister just sieging Magic and just cutting off all the supplies. And in that position, Magic taps out and Mister finds the win. And you even see him starting to get out those Gastrophotorus here as well. This is a solid game played by Mister. He's kind of, this all kind of, in a way, this all kind of stemmed back to that shifting sands in the early stages of the game. Where right here, you see that shifting sands need to be used. And then it's no longer on the cards for Magic to get anything done. So Mister doesn't have to care about anything in the early game. He can just go Heroic Age, he can go Mythic Age, and Magic can't do anything. He can't catch Mister out there. And with that just comes, okay, well, where's the Greek the most strong? Well, it's when he gets to the Mythic Age, when he's got all those units out. And Magic just can't find any value here in this game. So Mister takes game number 3. It's a best of 5 here. That means first to 3. We move on to game to number 4. Will Mister be able to close it out in 4, or is Magic going to be able to keep fighting here for his chance in this tournament? And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 4 on the map, Midgard, in the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Uranus. His name is the Mister. In the left-hand corner of the map, in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Magic. The map, Midgard. Relics on the map. Over here, we've got that ship of fingernails plus 0.5 food per second. Up to this top position here, we've got Tail of Cerberus. Going to be reducing some myth unit special attack there. Pandora's box here in the map is also going to be a really nice one for Mister to be spotting there if he wants to go that Promethean route. Over here, we see adamantine shingles. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see how this one's going to go, as I love this already from the Mister. He's moving around the map, scouting out where the fish is, so he's going to know where to send that next villager to drop a dock. Because you basically, the way to put it simply here is, yes, you can go for less amounts of fish. But if you go for less amounts of fish, you're going for a fast advance time, you've got to get damage done onto your opponent. So, in order to just make it simple on yourself, oftentimes we see top players, instead of going for really fast advanced times on maps like this, they go for fast dock booms, fast fish booms, to try and grab all of the fishing spots. And indeed, we are seeing a villager starting to move up to the top side there to drop a dock. Over on the other side here for Magic, he's got a beautiful wood line here to share that storehouse. It's going to be absolutely huge as the fishing ship's moving down to the bottom side of the map, searching for some stuff. And we do see a bolt there onto an Oracle, erasing that one nice and early here. Obviously, Magic would have liked to have hit that earlier, but Not going to be the case for him. Nonetheless, picking off those oracles, always going to be big. But again, the question on this map and in this matchup is always going to be, like, which angle does the Uranus player want to go? And for some, to some degree, maybe you could take this the other angle. If you know your opponent's going to go Prometheus, maybe you could go for Hermes here in this matchup. But we see a temple coming down for Magic. A couple of fishing ships going to be getting popped out onto this position. Oracle finishing up over here and decides to retreat back. Still going to be claiming all of these spots over here. Does he see what's happening down the bottom? He does. So he could come down and drop a dock on this spot and grab those fishing spots as well. Could come down on this spot and drop some fishing spots here as well. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mr. moving forward for a bit of an aggressive dock here to try and get some early harassment to happen on the water in this matchup.
Burig.
See mana coming down. But it looks like with the temple up, Mr. looking for an advance time. Coming in momentarily here. Leaves a handful of villagers on food. And we'll see where he's going to go as he does decide on Prometheus, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. is one of those players, and I feel like the more I watch him, the more I start to understand this about him. He really, really loves this fourth resource. This favor resource. He loves using this. He loves all of the stuff that comes with that, whether it's going to be mass manticore, a whole bunch of Promethean, making a whole bunch of Scorpion Men, Wadgets. Any sort of usage of this in a big way is something that he really, really favors in Age of Mythology Retold. And it's a lot of fun to watch. Did he move the villager forward? I don't think we saw a forward villager, but we do see the dock over here starting to get a couple of fishing spots on this location. There are a couple of salmon over here that he can claim as well if he wants to. But also, I don't know if Mr. is really going to be wanting to immediately start kind of spamming out archer ships or anything like that. But he's going straight into the middle. Oh, counter barracks here. Okay. So it's going to be potentially, as we see the Theseus kind of coming in with that Pandora's box saying, hello there, sir. Hello there, sailor. I have the relic. I have it. Look at me. I've got it. You don't have it. Pandora's box is mine. That's so rude. He literally just walks in there. He's like, smack. Okay, I'll leave. We see alluvial clay coming through. Got that pickaxe on the way. One Terma in as well, as you can use that Valor straight away onto this position to take out the Minotaur. Bash that Promethean for 6 there, but lots of damage there onto the Minotaur as all of the military academies now out. Mr. going to drop that house mana down in his main base. Magic looking to push back in here as well. More Prometheans starting to come through, and it's just going to be a Terma Promethean here. I wouldn't mind seeing like one Caraballista. Like one Caraballista with Valor on this town center here, just to shoot at those units here as the villagers have to get pushed off this position yet again. Another Promethean going to be charging over here to push those units away. Another Valor coming through for the Mister as he does manage to snipe down the Jason, and all of a sudden Pandora's box is sitting here. I should kind of preface as to why this relic is so important. Mr. hasn't gone and picked it up yet. I think maybe he's not quite realizing just yet, but this relic is insanely important because it makes those Prometheans, which are already cheap at 8 favor, they go down to like 6 favor. Six favor. All right, we see some archer ship shenanigans on this position. Hoplites going up to the top dock there. As the army of the Mist are going to move up to the top position here. Definitely wants to keep this dock alive if at all possible, as the Bareem's going to be looking for some fishing ships to kill. I'm so disappointed that this relic is just sitting here. It's literally my favorite relic in the entire game. Nonetheless, Promethean's managing to push away over here as Magic now going into the main base. But some Hero Terma on the back here going to be able to get some more damage done onto that Minotaur as the Hoplites getting good damage done. Good micro there from Mr. However, to pull back. And same too with that Promethean as that Heracles is getting closer and closer. Well, he's actually starting to take some serious damage here. See a military barracks now coming through as Mr. can now start looking to make himself something else. Still not. Just what is it with top players and hating relics? I swear. Oh, there he goes. He's got it. All right, okay, he's got it. He's got it. Okay, all right. Now look at the Prometheans. 6 favor. Are you kidding me? Now the Oracle is kind of not being as efficient as it possibly can, but nonetheless. The army for the Mister is starting to be very scary. We are seeing Dionysus coming through here. And this is it's somewhat of a counter to this mass Promethean sort of shenanigans here. As the Terma coming through, they do spot the Minotaur on this location. Going to be able to take that one out. But the villagers on this gold mine are open as the Hoplites going back up to this top dock here. Mister, in a way, has to kind of not care so much about that at this point. He's going in for the villagers here. He can always put a dock back up there later. But the Hoplites are now going to be moving around onto the other side of the map. He does have units in his main base to defend with a couple of Caraballister as well, just in case. The gold mine getting pushed off here is big. There's still 1,000 gold in the main base here, though. As Thea comes through, Hoplites going for another dock over here. So those Prometheans can push in and take out that hero very, very simply. The Hoplites going after this dock here as well as the fishing ships are all kind of getting denied. So now coming through with his Prometheans. I mean, losing the dock isn't the end of the world, but it's a little bit annoying to have to go back over there and put it back up. Meanwhile, over onto this position, the Heracles, looking like it might go down there. That's a Pentaconta coming in to start taking down some fishing ships. But Dionysus is already in, which means a Skylar is out. And that's going to be... Is it out? Yes, it is out. So it's going to be looking for some more fishing ships to kill there. So Pentaconta picking off fishing ships on this spot. The Caraballas are actually not terrible at taking that out on that position. And so over here, the Trireme getting sniped from the shore. Doc going to be attempting to go back up onto this spot. But the army now pushing into the main base of the Mister. He does hit that heroic gauge there with Hesperid's tree, but the army is coming in. These are heroic gauge Promethean now, however. Bronze gets dropped down, and the Mister has to start retreating here. He's under a lot of pressure. There's the shockwave. Pulling back, the villagers on this gold mine might need to be positioned a little bit. But great choke point on this spot here, though. Restoration going to be getting thrown down here. More Prometheans starting to come in onto this spot. The Stymphalian Bird is getting a huge amount of damage done onto that Hydra as the Hoplite army looking like it's getting huge value here, but it is getting a lot of losses underneath the town center, and this choke point is just so beautiful here for the Mister. The question is, can he hold or not? The Prometheans are holding strong against these Hoplites for the time being. Dryads are coming out very, very quickly. That Skylar is getting damage done on the back here as well. But after all is said and done, Mister manages to hold. The bronze is over, and now Mister is going to be on the warpath to push Magic back into his main base. He might have lost the water, but he is completely fine here. There is a Nereid over here. If Mister pays attention, he can take that Skylar out. But where are the priorities here? He sees blood, and he is going to be going for the gold mine of Magic here very, very shortly. Where is the Odysseus at this point? Another Hesperid's tree coming down for more Dryads as this army of the Mister pushes through. The villagers pulling off of the gold mine. Magic now going to be sending villagers up to the top gold mine over here. As the Nereid did actually manage to take out that Skylar as well.
Bureg.
And he's also got the takedown onto the Pentaconta. Can he actually take this down with 4 HP? Answer is no. Answer is no. It's now Magic pushed off of this gold. He's got no gold left. He has an army, but he has to take a fight here moving forward. And Magic, he's got to be worried about things like, I guess, Sky passes coming up around the map so we can hit all the different gold mines. There's only 2 gold mines to pick from here. It's a very, very small amount of gold on this map. And now the only hope here for Magic is that Mr. makes a mistake here. He's got the Odysseus out. Another restoration coming through. As Mr. says, no worries. I'll pull back and wait this out, and then we'll take the fight again. He's still got all of these Prometheans on the front here. The Arcus on the back here are going to be getting huge amounts of damage done onto those heroes to take those out to allow the Prometheans even more value. The Dryads as well are myth units that are incredibly strong at this point. As the army dives into the town center here, trying to find the value. He does get onto the back of the army here. Great control here as Mr. does get caught out in some way on that spot. Valiant Bird getting sniped down though by the Odysseus and the Heracles. Going to be able to put a lot of stunt into this pressure here as Magic is now under the pressure which he was putting onto Mr. But is Mr. going to be able to continue to push through here, or is the town center going to be too much? Looks like Mr. not ready to pull back just yet. The heroes still dealing with those myth units nice and quickly here. As the Ark has taken out those hoplites nicely. More Prometheans coming through here. The numbers here, though, for Magic are starting to fall in a big way as there's no villagers on gold. There's no gold income. There's still decent amount of villagers in the bank here. But now back over onto the gold mine for Magic. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to it all too long here. Odysseus taking a lot of damage there from the Arcus. As now Mr. says, all right, time to retreat. More Dryads coming out. Mr. still going to be producing Prometheans here through the heroic age, it looks like. It's up onto the top side of the map. The army goes to sit on that gold mine. He doesn't need all of his army in one spot at the moment. He will almost have a shockwave here as well if he wants to use it on these villages to prevent the retreat path. Promethean Offspring taking down some villagers here as well. Villagers pulling back into the main base. The army of the Mr. has yet again created a gold starve situation. And now the question, I guess, for the Mr. is, what do you do now? You got a gold starve. How do you close this game out? Magic is not going to be resigning anytime soon unless you force him out of the game, unless you take out all of his units. Magic has got the food economy to some degree. The Pantacon is still going after fishing ships up on the top position there. He has a very strong Hydra. Nice kite micro here from the Mr. as well. As his myth unit army coming through. He can't be losing units at this point. More Hydra coming in. Only the one villager on the temple for the time being here. The Magic's army is getting caught out. He's trying to pass through here. He's getting stuck in a really, really difficult position right now. He turns around, going to be taking that fight. But there's so many Arcus at this moment. Huge shockwave coming through to allow his units in yet again. Hydra on the top here. No heads for the moment. And hero units targeting it down. So it's going to be going down very, very quickly. The Peltaster in, though, to take out the Arcus of Mr. But Magic, he still has no gold income. Three-headed Hydra coming in. Bolt there coming through to try and take out one of those hero units on the back there. But it's not going to be enough as Mr. manages to take out Magic, claims the series 3-1, and he's going to be moving forward to the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute performance here from the Mr. Props where props are due for the for Magic here, for Magic here, managing to push Mr. to that nth level. But in the end here, the Mr. too strong, and he's able to find that victory here. Take a look at this favor generation from the Mr. in this game. It's just slowly cooking up throughout this game. And Magic does manage to get himself in front here with that big boost there in the end. But that's just because a whole bunch of villagers are on it. Magic really needed some more help against those myth units. He went for that huge all-in with the bronze. And maybe the better call would have been to just go heroic age, or go mythic age, actually. Get out Bellerophon, and then all of a sudden you've got this huge unit to deal with those Prometheans, Dryads, and everything else. But he doesn't read that situation well enough. And Mr. finds the dub. Well, we'll move on to the semifinals very, very shortly. We'll check out what's happening on the other quarterfinal with Nakamura, as we'll be joining up with him momentarily here. If you guys are having a great time, don't forget to hit the follow button. Don't forget to check out Nakamura, Go Desla, and Maiden, who are also covering this tournament as we move forward into the next series very shortly. Oh, we got Gaia, and we're against Chemo, and Chemo is still playing. As Isis. Alright, let's try and get onto the back of this. I have an idea here. My idea is going to be an idea. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. I want to keep an eye on this citizen because I don't want it to get blocked in here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over onto here, and that way I can teleport it out or garrison it out no matter what. Wait, was he playing? He was playing Isis before, wasn't he? Good luck, have fun! Okay, so my idea here is, okay, so pre-siege is something to be careful of. Everything else, I don't really care about. All I need to do is get up a town center and we should be okay. I just need to find where that town center is. There it is. So he's going to be spotting me getting this up, but I don't really mind. So we get a house down. Oh, that's fine. Not a big deal. Because he can't stop it. There's no way for Isis to stop that. At least I think there's no way for her to stop it. Actually, I should pop it here. And effectively here, we just go for one hero citizen before we advance. And that citizen is going to be used. There could be other goats, cows there. Let me go over there. And that hero citizen is going to be used to get my town center up. Leave me alone, Chemo! What did I ever do to you? You're stealing my cows. I already know you're stealing my cows. You see me running your bloody dude over there? I'm just gonna run you all the way back. Hopefully you don't die.
Burek, mak diat, skopos, mos inter, mos inter, burek es lost, uji diat, skopos, es lost, mos uji, schmak, uji, uji diat, herjos. Diat. Bureg. Yuji. Herjos. Yuji. Skopos. Burek. Schwest. Skopos intam. Yuji. Oso. Bulmak. Osto. Yuji. Mak.
Okay, and we're just going to run over here.
Skopos. Eked.
Yuji. Ma. Yuji. Ma. Yuji. Ma. Eschlost.
Skopos.
And now
Herjos.
it's effectively just
Yuji.
like I don't even care. Like what is he gonna do? Go Anubis and then drop. I'm just gonna drop this here. Go Anubis and drop something on this. Like what is he gonna do? You can't do anything. I don't even care. Just look at it. See if I care, Chemo. See if I don't. I care zero. You're not even in the classical age yet. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop me? Go on. See what happens. Nothing's gonna happen. That's right.
Yuji. Yuji. Mak. Bureg.
Where's my dude?
Yuji. Osto. Yuji. Mak. Yuji. Herjos. Mak. Ost. Yuji. Skopos. Esh. Osto.
Oh, never mind. You are in the classical age.
Mak. Eporofros. Herjos. Bureg.
Skop mak. Uje.
Esh. Mak. Yuji. Voliat. Bureg. Yuji. Osto.
Erjos. Mak.
Skopos. Yuji. Mak. Herjos. Schwest. Herjolas Marke.
Skopos. Eshlost. Uje. Mak.
Skopos.
Erjos. Uj mak.
Herjos. Schwest.
Uje. Eshlo. Uj mak. Uje.
Okay, now we're gonna drop an armory down.
Yuji.
Yuji Vian.
Er Uje.
Yu Eshlo. Osto. Yuji. Mak. Yuji. Mak. Yu Eshlost.
Skopos. Esh. Uj. Esh. Uj mak. Uje. Mak.
We need one more villager on wood, right?
Her Eshlo. Osto. Mos intum.
Alright, we're never gonna be able to get this thing up.
Bureg. Skopos Aked. Vian.
Uj Erjos. Uj. Esh. Uj mak. Eshlost.
We do have a nice gold mine over here as well, right?
Bureg. Herjos. Bureg. Eshlo. Schwest.
Now we go with this.
Skopos. Mak. Esh. Osto. Yuji. Schwest. Herjos.
Herjos. Vian.
Bureg. Mak. Eked.
Now we're gonna start putting our barracks down.
Herjo. Diat. Yuji. Diat.
And we're gonna do the old Kavoth where we move up onto this place instead.
Uje.
Okay, he's on 2 town centers. I honestly do not care.
Bureg. Eked. Mos intum. Skopos. Bureg. Skopos. Bureg. Diat. Herjos. Eked. Diat. Bureg. Skopos. Eked. Yuji. Eked. Vest. Bureg.
Herjos.
Herjos.
Yuji.
Buresh. Also. Eked. Eked.
Get me some upgrades in now. Upgrades are overrated. You get them later. Get upgrades later.
Yuji. Eked. Esh lost.
Did I lose my Caladriel?
Skopos. You also. Schwest. Vayen. Herjos. Yuji. Schmak. Also. Eked. Eked.
Skopos. Mak. Vian. Aked. Vian.
Skopos. Herjos.
This guy and he's scouting. Get him out of here.
Yuji. Eked. Most intum.
Yuji.
Yuji. Yuji. Herjos. Yos. Eshlos. Herjos. Herjos. Yuji. Herjos. Yuji. Skopos. Mak. Herjos. Yuji. Bureg. Eshlost.
Skopos. Eshlost. Yuji. Mak.
Bus. Eporofrost. Herjos. Mak.
Erjos.
Bureg.
Man, these hero citizens are pretty strong.
Yuji. Yuji. Bureg. Osto.
Herr Jeslost. Yuji.
Skobos. Oso. Diat.
Herr Jost.
Yuji. Herr Burek. Eke. Diat.
Skop. Herr Jost. Mak.
Yuji,
Skopos.
Yuji,
Burek,
Skopos,
Mak.
Yuji, Yuji, Schloss,
Skobos.
Yuji. Mos Aked.
Burek. Eke.
Skopos, Mak, Yuji, Mak, Yuji,
Skobos. Oso. Eshlo. Mak. Diat.
Herr Diat. Yuji Diat.
Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Schloss, Dilis Moke,
Yuji. Eke.
Burek, Mak, Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, e Poro Fras, Yuji, Schloss, Mak, Yuji, Schmak, Yuji, Skopos, Eshmak, Yuji,
Bursko Aked. Herr Jost. Aked. Mak.
Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Eshmak, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Skopos, Schloss,
Yuji. Mak. Eshlost.
Yuji, Yuji, Schloss, Mak, Eshmak,
Skop Aked. Bur Aked. Skopos.
Herr Jost. Eke.
Herr Jost. Aked.
Skopos, Yuji, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Burek, Eshmak, Eshmak, Yuji, Schloss,
Burek. Herr Jost. Eke.
Skopos,
Okay, so all one town center.
Burek, Skopos, Yuji, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Schloss, Yuji, Schloss,
Skopos. Mak. Eshlo. Aked. Diat.
Yuji, Burek, Yuji, Schloss, Mak, Schloss, Mak, Skopos, Yuji, Schloss, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Mak, Yuji,
Yuji. Eke. Herr Jost. Eke.
Yuji. Skopo. Yuji Diat. Bur Aked. Diat.
Burek, Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Yuji, Eshmak, Schloss,
Eshlost. Osto.
Burek, Dilis Moke, Mak, Yuji,
Man. Seriously?
Yuji.
Like what is the point?
Yuji, Yuji,
Mos Maosto.
Skobos. Eshlost. Burek. Yuji. Oso.
Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Yuji, Mak,
Herr Jost. Eke.
Bur Aked. Diat.
Burek, e Poro Fras,
Burek. Eshlost.
Skopos,
Herr Jost. Vajen. Burek. Eke. Yuji. Eke.
Yuji. Aked.
Herr
Burek.
Jost. Eke. Burek. Eke.
Skop Aked.
Burek, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Mak, Schloss,
Yuji. Eshlo. Eke. Yuji.
Burek, Mak, Yuji,
I
Eshmak,
guess what I actually need here then is just to sit back, just let him come and kill me, and then hopefully have implode ready.
Skopos, Eshmak, Eshmak, Yuji, Burek, Yuji, Mak, Yuji,
Actually, other idea.
Burek,
Let's try this.
Skopos, Yuji, Yuji, Mak,
Herr
Eshmak,
Jost. Skopomak. Most intim.
Bur Aked.
Burek. Eke.
Skopo. Aked. Yuji.
Herr Jost.
Mos Intim.
Burek. Diat.
Skopos, Yuji, Eshmak, Eshmak, Yuji, Mak, Skopos, Schloss, Mak, Yuji, Burek, Skopos, Eshmak, Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Schloss, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Skopos, Yuji, Schloss,
Burek.
Skopos, Yuji, Eshmak, Yuji, Schloss, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Eshmak, Schloss, Mak, Yuji, Schloss, Dilis Moke, Yuji, Schloss, Yuji, Yuji, Eshmak, Skopos, Eshmak, Burek, Schloss,
Eshlost.
Yuji,
Burek. Yuji. Herr Jost. Oso.
Skopos, e Poro Fras, Schloss, Dilis Moke, Skopos, Yuji,
Burek. Yuji. Mak. Eshlost.
Skopos, Yuji, Dilis Moke, Burek, Eshmak, e Poro Fras, Skopos, Burek,
Herr Mak.
Skopos,
Yuji. Herr Jost.
Buk Mos Intim.
Yuji.
Spuka Os Diat. Herr Jo. Aked. Buka.
Burek. Eke. Most intim. Herr Jost.
Skopos,
Skopos.
Well, it worked.
Osto.
We got a lot of bloody resources in the bank now, though.
Yuji.
Did I build an? Did I start a market? I did.
Yuji.
Yuji. Mak. Eshlost. Yuji. Diat.
Burek, Yuji, Eshmak, Schloss, Skopos, Skopos, Schloss, Yuji, Eshmak,
Burek.
Skopos, Mos Eke. Yuji, Yuji, Burek, Eshmak, Til Yuji, Schloss. Skop, Mak, Yuji, Eshmak,
Yuji, Esh, Ost, Yuji,
Yuji. Yuji, Burek, Eshmak, Yuji, Yuji, Skopos, Burek, Mak, Yuji, Eshmak, Skopos, Yuji, Mak, Yuji. Skopos, Mak, Yuji, Mak, Burek, Eshmak.
Scopo, Yuji.
Burek, Eshlost. Eke, Dia. Burek, Eshmak, Eshilis Moke, Yuji. Burma, Skopos, Yuji, Skopos, Shlo, Yuji, Epma, Til Eporo, Til Ep, Yuji. Yuji, also Eke, Eke. Burek, Skopos, Yuji, Shma, Yuji, Yuji, Ma, Yuji. Tilis Moke, Epjos. Burek, Yuji, also.
Man,
Skopos, Yuji, Tilis Moke, Burek.
the speed on these fuckers is insane, isn't it?
Tilis Moke.
Look at him. Like, what am I supposed to do to this?
Skopos, Mak.
Like, I can't chase it, can I? All my guys are just dead.
Burek, Yuji, Eporo,
That's so wild.
Yuji, Mak, Yuji, Mak.
Seriously, what
Yuji,
what is that?
Skopos, Mak.
How many citizens did I just lose?
Bur, Diot.
And now he's in my main base. Are you kidding me?
Skopos, Mak, Shlo, Mak. Eporo, Burek, Yuji,
Scopos.
Skopos, Tilis Moke.
Scopos, Yumak. Bur, Scopos.
Like, I'm sending units after it, don't get me wrong. But now I'm not able to do anything else, am I? Let me see if I can kill this at the very least. I need to force him to be somewhere. Obviously, walls would be a pretty smart idea.
Aked. Bur.
So let's try and get some up.
Burek, Yushmak,
We can kill off these guys. Attack!
Yuji,
Skopos, Mak, Yuji, Shlo, Yuji, Eporo, Fra, Tilis Moke, Yuji, Mak,
Burek,
Skopos,
Osto,
Yuji, Shlo, Mak, Eporo, Fra, Yuji, Shlos.
Yuji, Yuji. Herr Joe. Yuji, Mos Inter.
Burek, Skopos,
Okay.
Yuji, Osto, Mak,
So that's that gold mine.
Yuji,
The other gold mines on the map.
Eshmak, Burek,
I mean, I could just drop it here, right? I don't know if I need to. Wow.
Tilis Moke,
Skopmak,
Yuji, Eke, Burek,
Bur, Osto, Yumak.
Mak, Eporo, Fra,
It's just raids galore. My god.
Burek,
I can't chase him.
Osto,
Okay, can we do something that I don't know. I don't have anything to kill him with. I mean, I got guard towers up. Maybe that'll help. If he's in my main base like that.
Aked. Yuji, Yuji. Aked.
Yuji, Burek, Osto, Yuji,
Jesus Christ.
Eshlo,
This is so abusive. My god.
Aked.
Yuji, Osto, Yuji,
Shlos, Burek, Mak, Shlo, Mak, Yuji,
Burek, Telas Marke,
Burek,
I can't even produce units. I got no fucking food economy anymore. Like, I got so much gold because why?
Bur, Aked.
Jeepers creepers.
Bur, Mos Inter. Aked.
Should have just walled up.
Shlos, Mak, Yuji,
Just kill this at the very least. My god.
Burek,
And he's even spreading that out, so I can't get any value out of my shit.
Scopo, Eshlost. Bur, Mos Inter.
Jesus Christ. What am I supposed to do? Buy food?
Burek, Skopos, Skopos, Eshma,
Can we
Shlos,
at least finish the walls up?
Skopos,
Can I maybe... I don't know. Is it okay if I come out here? Maybe. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Mak, Yuji, Shlos, Yuji,
Burek. Eke. Yuji.
Skopos, Mak, Til, Shlos, Burek, Mak, Yuji. Yuji, Eshmak.
Like, I can't even get Champion Contarius out. I guess I'm just not level. I thought I actually played this one pretty bloody well. Up until the point that I couldn't stop the Contarius from literally just killing, not the Contarius, the Camel Rider, from literally just killing everything. Like, he's got, fuck me. He has Dwarven Horseshoes as well. I didn't even see that. Yeah, I should have had Catapulti just everywhere, right? Yeah, that would have worked. Fuck me. That's so frustrating. I feel like I played that. I actually feel like I played that insanely well. Like, insanely well. The only thing I could have done better is put walls up. But then, I mean, how long do these last for against the Camel Riders doing 16 damage per second? Is it enough for me to get over there and stop him? I don't know. If I got the walls up, then yeah, maybe we're all good. So I just have to have that in the back of my mind that, Jesus Christ, those Camel Riders, I literally can't do anything versus them. They just walk into my base and kill everything. I didn't have ballistics. That was my mistake. I have to invest to kill this unit with these buildings. I need to have Cran and ballistics. It's a lot to invest in. I just forgot about it because I wasn't building any archers. Because I can't build archers because he's got no infantry. You see how he's building 0 infantry? So I have to build this composition. This is the best composition to kill him, right? Infantry and cavalry. Obviously, catapulters might be a better shout here, but I wasn't smart enough to think about that. Oh, I also have this. I forgot about channels. Channels would have helped me a little bit, I think, chasing them around. I forgot about that tech. Ah. Damn. And it feels bad when you get into a position like this and then someone just does something like that and they just run through your base like this and you're like, I'm just dead because I can't chase it. I don't know how to chase it. Maybe hero catapultes would have been able to chase on the lush. How did he not drop down to 0 here? I swear I killed everything. Maybe he could just run away because he's got all the speed in the world. Oh, man. Maybe I should have just, after I killed this, I shouldn't have gone for this town center at all. And just literally just walked over here and just sat underneath all of this shit. That was probably the right call. Because his army clearly couldn't fight me until I had no resources to build it. That would have been the better call. After I got rid of the Son of Osiris. Arcus wouldn't have done anything. What do Arcus beat in this comp? What do Arcus beat? They don't beat anything. This thing has got 47% pierce armor. This thing's got 35% pierce armor. They're the slowest unit in the entirety of the Atlantean. Apart from Caraballo, they're the slowest unit. They don't counter anything my opponent's doing. Why should I build Arcus? There's no reason to. If Arcus would have helped me here, I would be shook. Anyways, GG.